A favorite screw up? Like, I can't believe I said that on the air.
You know what? The good thing for me, I never accidentally swore on the air. That was always my fear. What if it just comes out? Um,
Yeah.
oh
I did that
man,
in Binghamton, New York. That was bad.
I would say my number one screw up would have been hockey was not my best sport. And I like the Kraken, go Kraken. I've been to games. I've been to other games, and it's a great sport. I just don't know that much about it, right? I didn't grow up with hockey. I grew up playing football. Grew up with all the other ones, and so when you would get a hockey shot sheet at the last minute, shot sheet being the little notes, to call your highlight,
They tell
and
you,
sometimes
yeah.
the game just ended. You're on the set, and here comes the kid running in, and there's
Like
like
10
30
seconds in
seconds.
before the 10 seconds, you've never seen it. It's 10 seconds in, they hand you the shot sheet, you got to just take it and go with it.
Yeah, yeah. So I'd say the all-timer in that neighborhood would be when Bill Pito called in for whatever reason, probably black ice. He didn't want to drive that night, and he was really terrified about black ice. He'd warn us about the weather all the time. So Bill was doing the NHL Tonight on ESPN2. I did RPM Tonight, the car racing show, and Stewart, the NBA show, and Reese Davis, right? So I'm doing the hockey show, and they gave me a shot sheet, but they had cut two tapes. One was the short, the 38-second, and the other was the 3-minute 54-second. You can guess what happened. They gave me the short shot
Short
sheet,
shit sheet for
and
the
the
3-minute
game's still
highlight.
going. And I thank God, Barry Melrose, God bless. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah.
He's had some health things, but I hope he's
Yes.
doing well. Barry's next to me, and Barry was amazing, still is. But he didn't need shot sheets. He just knew every player in the league, right?
Yeah.
So I was quick enough to think, Barry, you've always wanted to call a highlight. And I left the studio. I walked out into the hall and got water. I could still
Yeah.
hear the highlight in my ear because I
Yeah.
wanted no part of it. I got smarter the way to do it when you lack knowledge or information, and I learned this when I did the Olympics for Peacock. Um, if there's 9 names before the goal, well, that would be too many players. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe one guy touched the
Yeah.
puck twice. Don't say all the names. You say things like, "Look at the great passing by the Canucks."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you make sure you know the name of the
Yeah.
bastard who scored the goal, and you get that
Yeah.
right. Minimize. Vince Doria taught me this. Minimize what you say, but be correct with what you say, and that really is a smart tool in a lot of other circumstances.
It is.
I think on the Olympics, it was the Romanian team handball team,
I mean, who doesn't have
and
that
I just said
down pat?
these Romanians don't like to be cited individually. They are team players. That's why they play team handball. Look at that
So
goal.
my biggest screw up was I just gotten on to like my first or second overnight sports center, so it was a big deal. And it was when John Daly was going back to the Players Championship the year before. He'd gotten hammered, missed his tea time, tore up his hotel room, all this kind of stuff. And it was his first attempt at trying to be sober and get back. So I wrote this poignant lead in. I was convinced I was going to win some sort of Peabody Award for this, that it was a year ago that John Daly's life fell apart, but he got himself back on track. He's gotten clean, and right before he teed off for his first round, he received the coin signifying 6 months of being sober. But instead of saying 6 months of being sober, I wrote it in the clumsiest way. I said it received a coin signifying 6 months of alcohol-free living, which is the stupidest way you could say it, right? It's just dumb. And for whatever reason, it came out of my mouth on camera. Right before he teed off, he received this coin signifying 6 months of free alcohol. And the blood just rushed out of my face. And in my ear, I hear the CP say, "Yeah, we're going to need to fix that for the rear." It's just, I thought my
That's a
career was
tough one.
over. I thought my career was
Well,
over in like my second show.
what I do remember, I didn't, you got nervous sometimes, especially in the early years. I wasn't as good early as I was late, right? I mean, that's kind of first day, you're not as good as your second day. But, when you knew a serious story was coming up where there was a crime or a death or, something, and you had to lock up, say those words correctly, and that's usually your worst performance, right?
Correct.
I remember a fix I was forced into. This was when I used to live in Seattle. Well, I lived in Seattle, went to Connecticut, went to Seattle, back in Connecticut. Long story.
Yes.
But when I used to do the LA sports centers with either Neil or Stan, right?
Yeah.
I'd go to LA and hang out for a week and do these sports centers. UNLV, who, by the way, as we tape this, hopefully when you air this, they're 4-0. I think they will be out at Miami, having a good season. And UNLV, this is many years ago, made a bowl game. And that was something all by itself. First bowl game since Randall, probably. What the hell was it? The Texas something bowl. They all have funny names, whatever it was called.
Of course.
And there was a play, and I got to look it up because it's one of those super weird. There's certain football rules, and you and I both think we know football, but sometimes stuff happens. Like a lot of people don't know about the fair catch, free kick. I've known about that all my life. But there's weird things like that, right? So I don't know what the hell the rule was. It was some weird thing, and I had about 11 seconds to explain why that was ruled that way. The official rule states blah, blah, blah. Instead, I decided to say that's legal in the same way prostitution is legal in some Nevada counties, but not all. I thought, and it's true, it's not legal in Clark County. It's legal in the other outlying counties. And they didn't think that was funny, but I did. And I said, it's totally relevant. We're talking about a Las Vegas team, and I'm giving you a practical, metaphor. And I didn't say everyone go get a prostitute. I just said what I said. But yeah, you can't say prostitution. Like, why? I just did. You can, because I just did.
I just did it.